Hello? It says live. Oh,
Really?
it does. Huh.
Okay, I don't.
I didn't even get the YouTube like last time, soon as I hit it, it said
It says on the air, you're in the broadcast. Wait a minute. Here's a
oh,
YouTube
here it
notification.
is. I just
Uh-oh.
got a text that says Urban Boo's going live.
Yeah, I just saw it.
But where is it? Oh, here we are. Here we are.
Oh, yeah.
Smile, we're on. There's the
All right.
delay.
Just at home, staying safe with my family.
Oh, my gosh. I wish I
What?
could play some music.
Next time we'll put up our opening theme song or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We'll put something up.
Let's see. Okay. All
Okay.
right. Well, let's start out. See, but I wanted to see the chatting. Like, how will we see chatting?
Hang on.
Because it's one thing showing because we don't even know who's on.
Let's see. Did that even go up live? Because now I'm on my how come I can't hear? Okay, there it is. Okay, no, it's over here, live chat.
Okay.
Is anyone here? Okay.
Okay. Let me see if I could find it.
Talk live chat.
Yeah, I see it. Talk to Ma Rainey.
Here. Okay, there it is. Okay, no, it's over here, live chat.
Okay.
Is anyone here? Okay.
Okay. Let me see if I can find it.
Talk live chat.
Yeah, I see it. Talk to Ma Rainey.
Okay, there it is. Okay, no, it's over here, live chat. Is anyone here? Okay.
It's delayed.
Okay.
All right, well, let me see if I can find it.
Talk live chat. It is delayed, yeah.
Talk to Ma Rainey. All right, let me get us so we stop hearing ourselves. Okay, so we're gonna talk about. So let's do our opening.
Okay.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Laura.
And I'm Peggy.
And we are
Urban Booz.
Booz.
Yeah, I have my card too.
I got my t-shirt on today.
I know. I'm cold, so I'm bundled up. Well, we tried to do something different. We did something different today, and we thought we'd take a stab at a new way of doing live. We thought we'd give it a shot, and we're going to talk about Ma Rainey. And of course, we got to have our Urban Booz, take on it. So what we're doing is celebrating it with drinks from that era. Well, I chose from the 1920s. So I have what's called I can't see. Here we go. The Bee's Knees.
Okay.
The Bee's Knees, which is gin, honey, and lemon juice. You can't get any simpler than that.
Oh, you can. You really can. I have a very large shot. Actually, it's a small glass and the ice cube melted, but it is just a bit of a shot of whiskey, but this is called an old fashioned. And how do we make it easier without the twist of orange? We use orange bitters for the bitters. We make sure they're already flavored. It does get a little easier.
Well, because this is a special week for me, is my dad's birthday. I went and used Tanqueray gin with it, and fresh lemon and honey, and this is really good. I think when I tasted gin in college, I didn't like it. But again, that was my fresh off a Kool-Aid palate, so probably nothing would have worked. I think Andre Champagne
off of Kool-Aid.
Yeah, that was the hardest that I drank, Andre Champagne. And that's terrible. So when I did taste gin, I was like, oh. But here, mixed with the honey and the lemon juice, it's nice and tart. And so okay, we're gonna talk about Ma Rainey. We didn't show what we're gonna do for Urban Booz, and I can't see myself. This live is driving me crazy.
I see you. Is it better?
Yeah, it's a delay. It's a delay.
Okay.
So with that, I mean, if you guys get to see this in the recording, you'll see that we're just kicking the tires. You know,
Right.
we might be on this one this week.
We're
Next week,
trying new things. That's all. We're trying
and
something
we
new.
want to do like a urban boost talk. We you know we might come up on Fridays and talk about what we've seen,
Mm-hmm.
whether it's on television, whether it's movies, shows,
Mm-hmm.
news, you know, anything that we see.
I don't know that I need to
Yeah,
do the
maybe
news.
not too much politics.
However,
Enough
I
of that.
do. I'm gonna have to make a because I'm drinking. Where is it? Okay, the Uncle Nearest, and I'm gonna have to come back and get
You
some
did
more
Uncle
for Whiskey Wednesday because that's also Inauguration Wednesday this year, right?
Ah. Oh yeah, I think so. I think
Mm-hmm.
so. I think we'll probably all be looking at it. But let's jump into Ma Rainey. We're not going to be on long, but we hope that we can make this a regular feature on Fridays,
Mm-hmm.
a real quick snippet of what we saw that we felt compelled to talk about.
And you can talk about it too with us. Join us if you can.
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, you know, Ma Rainey, Black Bottom, and August Wilson play. I got to tell you, when I first saw it, I was like, I don't get it. You know, it's taken me a minute to get August Wilson.
Mm-hmm.
I really appreciate that Netflix actually broke it down for us, for those of us who are not, you know, on that level. But
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you cannot deny, even if you really didn't get it all and all the nuances that August Wilson was trying to really send our way, you cannot deny the incredible performances of that ensemble, you know,
Right.
especially, you know, Viola Davis, who always kills it,
Mm-hmm.
to, you know, our beloved Chadwick. Okay, why can't I pronounce his last name? Boseman. Chadwick Boseman.
Mm-hmm.
He was amazing, and it was certainly that monologue, girl. That monologue
He did quite a few.
That came from the soul.
There were quite a few soliloquies in there. There were quite a few, but almost all of the characters.
The one that truly spoke to why God ignored him.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't help but feel like he really put his heart and soul in that one, because that spoke to his condition. He had been suffering for years with this colon cancer. It was like, why me? Why did God ignore me? And I just,
wow.
It was riveting.
See, that went right over my
head.
Your head. It really did. You want to know why? Because I watched and he was the character. It wasn't Chadwick Boseman saying why me, God. It was the character of Levy saying, hey, look, I will make a deal with the devil because I know the devil's real. He's going to pay me off proper. But here's what happened when I was 8 years old and I asked God why. God didn't come. My mother prayed to God. God didn't come. My father came to take justice into his own hands, and that was the last time I saw him. God? Mm-mm. And that's, I was very into, at that point, I was in the character with Levy. I wasn't even thinking about Chadwick Boseman. And then I was
there both. I was there both with him, but it was a double entendre on how he was like, why me? And that's why it was so riveting and so strong. I mean, we know he was an incredible actor, but you can't help but after he did it and after you take it in, just the amazing performance is like, damn, could this have been a little deeper? And I
yeah,
right.
But you know who's the other performance that really hit me? Glenn Turman.
I knew you were gonna say that. Yeah, he was
good.
He was good.
Do you remember Cooley High?
Oh, who couldn't? Who could forget Cooley High? Rites of Passage.
Right.
That's like saying, who can't remember Cornbread Earl and Me? Okay, we could go. We could go there.
We can. But he's had a really good year this year. He was also in Fargo, where he played.
I didn't see that. There was black people in Fargo.
Nothing but Chris Rock, Glenn Turman, a whole bunch of people. And he played Dr. Senator. And he gave a soliloquy in that one too. And it was amazing. It was really amazing. Is that on Netflix? It was on Hulu. Will have it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I got Hulu. Will have it. But so with Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, I like the fact that it was just an excerpt of her life when she recorded that song. I love how they really tried to the juxtaposition of her power during that time versus the white music producer, and how she certainly flexed her power.
She flexed, and she more than flexed. She understood. A lot of people don't understand.
She understood at that moment, because understand, she knew that there's the Black people that got her there.
She knew that, but she also knew she made them the most money. When they were complaining, they were like, "Come on, let's do this. This is costing us money." She's like, "Costing you money? It's not. I'm making you money." You know, and she called them out on it instantly. Even when she was, you know, when you first see her, and you know, she knows the Black people make her money, but we see her walking down that staircase, and she's got the, you know, she's got the girlfriend and she's got the nephew.
This is so damn good.
Is it? Mine has gone straight to my head, and my belly's full too. But she's walking down the staircase of the fancy Black hotel, and all the Black people are looking at her, and they're like sneering. They're kind of snubbing her. She has a car. She's a well-to-do woman, all on her own steam, but they're all kind of sitting there. Some of them are gawking at her like, "Ooh, a celebrity," and some of them are just kind of sneering at her like, "Ooh, she's trash," you know. And I mean, that's what I saw. And then she gets in her car.
I don't know if that was really, like, you know, with August Wilson, he sends messages in different layers, depending on, you know, what glasses that you kind of saw this through, what lens you saw it through.
That's true.
As a playwright, you know, he really wanted to amplify and really show the Black experience as it exists. And quite frankly, because we don't have enough Black history, that's probably the closest we are going to get to knowing about these incredible people whose shoulders many of today's artists stand on. It was definitely, and I think he certainly, you know, did this for her, to honor her, because if it weren't for her, there wouldn't be a Bessie Smith. And, you know, Bessie Smith blew up, and Ma Rainey just got lost in the afterthought, as with, you know, many incredible, you know, African-American actors and actresses and producers who've done things. So,
but I love the way they show how things are. Here's a guy complaining, and she's like, "I'm going to make you money," and he doesn't bother to plug in the microphone. He's complaining, but the microphone's not plugged in. He's complaining.
I didn't see that.
Well, it was plugged in, but there was a problem with the microphone. They hadn't tested their equipment, and then they said, "Oh, I didn't get it." I was like, "Really? You didn't get it?" There's the guy that runs behind her, and then there's I guess his boss that Levy sells.
That was her manager. That was actually her manager.
Right, her manager. But then there's the other guy that Levy sells his song for 5 cents. I thought Levy was going to kill himself. At a certain point, I was like, he's going to see that he's not that guy. You know,
but see, what that scene was really, if you have to look at it from a holistic standpoint, that was that systemic racism being really illustrated, and it really is. It wasn't just Levy that I believe that August Wilson was painting, but just the Black experience trying to work within the guidelines to try to get through.
Right.
That's what we knew how.
Like, and then when you can't get through, who do you turn it back on? You turn your rage back on yourself.
He ran into that. He busted that door down to an empty room. Right. That room, from what I understood, represented racism. See, this is where I think sometimes they get a little too cerebral, you know, because you never got to understand, as much as he wanted to break that door down, which is racism, once he opened it, he was still boxed in. So that whole scene was almost parallel to that conversation that he had with that producer. Think about that. You know, the producer gave him less than a bone with meat on it.
Right. Less than a bone with meat on it. But before then, he had that whole scene with, you know, I'm going to have everything Ma Rainey has. I'm going to be the big man. And he's trying to get everything she has. And then he doesn't know how she gets it. He's impatient. Right. He doesn't know how she got to where she is. He's unwilling to sit there and wait. He
didn't want to learn. Right. He was impatient. That speaks to how, because every Black person, it's almost like when you go back in history, there were people who were Martin Luther King followers and they were Malcolm X followers. So Levy was like Malcolm X, like I need mine now. And he thought he did it the right way, but he has such anger boiling up in him. I mean, while he was trying to follow his own map and his own strategies, it still blew up in his face.
And he took the anger out on himself, really.
Yeah. on himself. And unfortunately, what was Glenn Turman's role? Was it piano? No, it wasn't piano. I'm thinking now, Lady Sing the Blues. See, here I'm going, Piano Man, that Richard Pryor role. But he,
Goodyear. Oh, Toledo. He played
Toledo.
The character's name was Toledo.
Right.
And he talks about how he's got a woman and he loves her, but he knows he's going to outlive her. He knows she's going to outlive him. He wants her to bury him during his soliloquy, but then she wants a church man. But she doesn't really want a church man because she stays home with him. You know?
Right. Yeah, crazy. I mean, August Wilson's plays does make you think, and maybe that's why it wasn't something that I gravitated to when I was younger, because I'm like, what is this? What is all this? I'm glad that, I can sit down in the comfort of my own home and kind of see, because if I looked at the play, I would look at it for what it was a performance. I wouldn't have looked that deeper. I'm not that much of an academia or playwright, or even my daughter who's in theater, she probably would have gotten a heightened sense of awareness of his play than me. I just thought that August Wilson always stayed stuck in this era, and I often wonder why.
Well, I mean,
it's a struggling time. It's
where he grew up and his experiences too. You take that. I mean, I talked to my parents. My father insists he knew August Wilson. My aunt had a pharmacy, a drugstore in the Hill District, right on Center Avenue. And he used to stop in there all the time. And she would, hey, comb your hair. Hey, so we had, he came up in that time, in that struggle. He came up. My mother was on the swim team at her school. How did that happen? She's Black. She was fast and they made them swim. But there's also, he went to a Catholic high school and he was traumatized. He just experienced that hardcore racism.
Clearly.
that real hard, we should kill you kind of racism. Whereas my mother experienced you can be on the team, but you can't be the captain, even though you're the fastest and the smartest. Even though you're the best, we're going to let you, you're lucky we let you in the pool.
My mother told me a story too, that she was on the swim team. I said, you was on the swim team? What'd you do about your hair?
well, and there it is, because they made them take swim lessons, and then Black people wouldn't get in the pool. You ruin your hair, and then you can't go to school with your hair looking all Yankee, and it's like all of these things. Yet our mothers managed around it, found a way around it. They liked swimming.
But I will tell you, I usually have to make myself really, really look at August Wilson stuff, and then it reminds me back to when I had given my mother some tapes from the Smithsonian called The Slave Narrative, I believe.
Ooh,
so I think what it was is that they interviewed many newly freed slaves who were sharecroppers and such. And my mother was like, I don't want to hear all that, because it's painful. It's painful to see that. It was painful to see how Ma Rainey had to kind of muscle her way through and say, no, I make you money. You're going to do what I need you to do.
Right.
And then the struggle of Levy, who clearly had a talent.
He had a talent, he had a vision, but he couldn't work within the framework of racism.
Right.
That's really what it was.
A lucky few made it through there. I don't feel in any shape, form, or fashion that there was a clear-cut strategy that made any artist out there during that time famous. It was just that one lone, probably Jewish person who said, look, I'm gonna manage you, I'm gonna get you through. And then with the popularity made by the Black community, that's how they were really able to become famous and popular. It was by luck. Levy didn't have that luck.
Right.
And certainly, certainly Ma Rainey saw him as a competition. She was like, look at him. There was something about his youthfulness and his aggressiveness that made her feel uncomfortable, because remember what they said is that play was written toward the end of her career. Toward the end. So she's trying to hold on to anything possible. So all those things, brought up those kind of uncomfortable.
But she kept saying she was just going to go back and tour. She was going to go on the road. And it was towards the end of her career. And it's also kind of like what I saw is, hey, here's this young buck going to try and, push me aside and tell me what to do. He doesn't know what to do. I know what
Right.
to do.
And
And
it was the
I'm
respect factor. Had he given her the proper respect, she would have put him under her wing, but he didn't have time for that.
right.
But that just shows the impatience of today's youth. I mean, think about it. I think it happens with each phase of someone's life when someone becomes older and more experienced, and then the younger ones. Look, I see it when I was just trying to get my damn ear pods connected to my phone. I said, "Show me, Brian," and my son just took it and said, "Done." And I'm like, "Oh, it's that impatience and that lack of respect."
Right.
And that I saw there. I was like, wow, 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 wow. I said August Wilson sure know how to make folks uncomfortable. But we have to know where we came from to know how to proceed. And I think it's so much more important now. And maybe there's a level of respect now for that, to see that, you just don't push off someone who is older than you that's been successful in whatever business.
But there's also the thing of we can see it now. You're saying how you didn't appreciate. I saw August Wilson on Broadway, and I went with a friend who was much right. We didn't like it, but maybe had we seen it as full grown, seasoned adults, we might have seen the show differently than when the first time we saw it. Women in our 20s were looking at this and like, what are they talking about? And now it's like, oh, because that's what they kept saying. That's what my friend kept saying afterwards. It's like, well, you didn't get that part. It's like, I don't know what's going on here. So what? Give them the food. What's the problem? Why is this taking so long?
And what about the, showing Ma Rainey with her, I won't say girlfriend, but,
I'll say girlfriend. That was her girlfriend.
That girl was there to get some money. So she was a gold digger, and she was,
She was a gold digger, but she had her level of stupid too. In the very beginning, we see her, and Ma Rainey is like, yeah, I'm going to put my arm through yours, and we're going to walk down the staircase. And she's not uncomfortable with that, with, flaunting their relationship through the black people, through the black hotel. She was not uncomfortable with that. When there's the car accident, she's out, and Ma Rainey is trying to defend herself, keep them safe, get the car fixed, and the white men are looking at the girlfriend, and the girlfriend is oblivious. She doesn't realize. And Ma Rainey is like, come on, quit messing around. She realizes she's got to protect this girl because she's dumb. And then she's trying to hit her.
She's not that dumb. She's just not aware of her surroundings, because didn't she ask her to buy her something? I don't know why I'm remembering that.
I don't know.
I said, she a gold digger. Okay.
Yeah. And then she told Levy the same thing. Well, let me know when you get your band. And then he was like, I'll buy you everything. She's like, let me know when you get your band.
Right, because she's like,
because I'm not leaving anything until not until you get that band together. Otherwise, don't call me.
But that was interesting too, because then I tried to do some reading. They said, well, Ma Rainey got her name from, she married someone named Pa Rainey. That's where she got her name from, because her name was like Gertrude something. She sang about men too, because they say, as with most songs, I don't know why they try to act like online that, the songs were sexually explicit. She sang about men, and then she made an inference to women. I wonder why that element was shown during that time there, in that play. But it was interesting, because you never heard of a woman in the 1900s, at least not openly saying
exactly. Right.
But she was clearly married, and of course, because that was just a scene from that, making that particular song, you don't get to see, well, where's Pa Rainey? What happened to him? Because they said that there was, and this sometimes kills me when there's some other element to how her makeup looked. There was reasons behind why it was
running all the time. Yeah.
Running and looking crazy. They said the wig she wore was horsehair. There was some inference to that, and there's some meaning behind that. See, sometimes I hate when I have to think too hard, because sometimes I just want to be entertained.
But here, and it's a funny thing, because I talked with other people. Are you going to watch it? I don't want to see Viola Davis looking like that, because we think of Viola Davis as beautiful. And so when I saw that, I was like, I didn't want to see that either. Say it again.
How to get away with murder, Viola.
Right. But she's mostly polished. The thing is, when this started, in the first couple of minutes, I was like, oh my gosh, why'd they do this to her? She's a beautiful, why did she look like this? But then she embodies the role, and that becomes less important, almost to the point where you really feel like you're watching Ma Rainey and not somebody who jacked up Viola Davis.
Yeah, I mean, the only assumption I made is that the reason why that makeup was so runny was because it was so damn hot.
Mm-hmm.
In that recording studio, because I tried to find some pictures of Ma Rainey, and certainly while she had makeup on, yes, it didn't look like that.
Right.
So I'd be interested in finding out what was the rationale behind it. I'm sure there is. Again, these hidden messages, that drives me crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Because Ma Rainey didn't look that bad.
Things just go right over my head.
And that did too, but because I had came across something where they said the significance of the makeup, and so sometimes that is in the eye of the director, the producer, but they're not letting the viewer know. Right. And it's like, okay, why does she look like that? Because Ma Rainey, you look at all the pictures of Ma Rainey, yeah, she had heavy eye makeup, but it wasn't draining and dripping and melting on her face. Probably once this is over, I'm gonna go back on there and say, why did they have her looking crazy like that? I mean, she killed it, and it made you forget, but it also made you at the same time wonder
why. That was a choice. That was a deliberate choice.
Right, for her makeup to look that way. George Wolfe directed it, so he had something in mind. Again, something that was in his head, in his intellect, and that's what sometimes that kind of annoys me, because we're looking at it to be entertained. We're not in there to try to read a thesis on the the implications and the inference and what it's like. Can I be entertained?
Can I be entertained? Right.
Please, glad that Netflix gave it a platform, but I didn't see the show. I mean, I think the last thing I saw August Wilson might have been Fences.
I saw Fences too.
And I looked at Fences and I was like, huh? Again,
I actually was in Pittsburgh, I have been to that town several times. I have been to the Hill District. I mean, I know that area, or at least I used to know it.
Yeah. I mean, again, when people write plays, it's intellectualized, and sometimes you have to know a little bit more. Like you said, about the area, so you can probably look at it and see it differently. I looked at it trying to understand, okay, what's going on here? We see this battle, because there's always a battle. There's always a struggle. We understand the struggle, but the question has always been to me, what am I supposed to get out of this after I see this?
Yeah.
And certainly I thought about that with Ma Rainey, and I appreciated her strength.
Her strength, and, like she kept saying, I'd rather do a tour. You look at recording artists now,
they make their money when they tour.
They make their money when they tour, but a lot of them will not tour, or they'll try to get that, they'll go to Vegas and they'll stay there for 2 months. Come see me. I'm not going out to see you, because touring is hard.
That's a newfound tour. Understand that that's how they make their money, because I took a look at TLC's movie, and, they start off the bat, every, musician, singer start off with a really bad
contract,
bad contract. And how TLC was able to make most of their money back and pay off their debts was through a tour. That's where they make their money.
Right.
They hit a couple of albums and they need to get on the tour. That's why she was like, look, I'm ready to go. Let me do this. Let me hit this, drop this song, and let me go.
I'll take my $200, remember? And she had the good sense and the good knowledge, the good understanding of how things worked to just say, oh, I'm not signing anything. Give me my money. Oh, I'm not signing anything. Give me my car key. Oh, I'm not signing anything. Pay my nephew, who's my stuttering nephew.
I got mad at her for that, because he took 5 damn minutes to say that intro, and they were like, okay. But it was definitely a good movie that'll make you think. I think, they had a lot of good 1920 drinks, but it was full of gin. That was a decade full of gin. I saw so many gin drinks. The Singapore slang. this bee's knee is gonna be my next favorite, because I'm digging this. They had quite a few there, and they were all gin based, which is why I was like, let me go out and get some gin, and because it got popular. And I don't know if it died down. I don't know. I'm so new to just trying things out. I'm thinking everything is new.
Well,
But
Toledo passed the whiskey around, which is why I have the whiskey, because he had a
right.
flask.
Yeah, whiskey. I'm still trying to get there. I think I will probably do well with a whiskey cocktail, but I think a great movie. It made me think. It's making me go back and now in my more seasoned way, I will kind of dig deeper in what were the messages, what were the hidden messages there. And now I might go back and look at Fences, and then there was another one, something about violence. There was quite a few other August Wilson pieces that were done. So, well, this was, we should probably wrap this up because I have now finished.
You finished your drink?
My bee's knees.
I still got a little in here, but I'm all right.
I finished it. I can't get it into the screen. Look at this. It's crazy.
I want to check out on Amazon Prime, One Night in Miami. Regina King's.
Yeah, but we're gonna talk about that next. But we're gonna wrap up this Ma Rainey.
Okay. We'll wrap up Ma Rainey. Maybe next time we'll talk about that.
The next one we'll talk about will be That Night in Miami. I think that's going to be really, really, really good.
Yeah.
Hope you guys join us in the conversation and add to it. I don't know how many of you have joined on there. We had like 3 people. Hey, okay. Now. All right. We're starting. And we're going to try this platform. We've tried this platform. Next week might be a different platform. We're just trying to see what works for both of us. Because I know for me, I am not technologically savvy, but we need something that's going to work and that's going to come across nice and clean.
Right.
So until next time, you might see Urban Boost twice a week. That's what we're trying to do now in 2021. You'll see what we come up with on Wednesday. But this is a live. This is a chance to meet with us, talk with us, shoot the breeze and tell us what your thoughts are. Like I said, next week is That Night in Miami.
That's right.
So until next time, y'all.
Okay, we're signing off for Urban Booze,
where we explore what's good.
Sip by sip.
Look, I can't even get it right.
Oh, you got because it's reversed.
I don't like it.
Okay.
And it's a delay. I don't know about this platform, but anyway.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna end.
Okay.